Good morning, everybody. Jim Feist and Dave Koken, live and in living color from Las Vegas. I don't know, Dave, you get any rain or snow over where you are?
Right now it looks like it's okay outside, but my allergies suggest that we are going to get some rain.
We had some this morning. We had, all of them maybe a 5-minute rainstorm, but it looks like it's going to come down again today. We might get rain all day, off and on. But talking about rain, it's been raining college basketball plays, and it's been really, really good. Knock on wood that it continues. And tonight we got a big football game that everybody, of course, is interested in. The Saints against Cowboys, division leaders. Very tough. This Saint run that they've had, 10 straight games, and Drew Brees and all that great stuff. And I guess when you look at the coach and quarterback advantage, you'd have to go to the Saints. But my God, are they going to continue to win and cover every game they play? And
well, I hope so, because I've had them several weeks in a row now. And the old expression, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. So, there's no mystery what I'm doing tonight. Yeah, I mean, the numbers are getting bigger, but they haven't caught up to me yet, and we'll see what happens tonight. It's one of those games where I think if you look at the game individually, you can probably build a case that there's some value in some people's mind on the Cowboys. I don't agree with that, and I haven't been agreeing with going against the Saints for a lot of weeks now. And look, my projections for what they're worth, looking over here at my projection on the game, I've got the Saints by 11. So, my power ratings are higher than probably anybody's on New Orleans, and I've been right. So I'm not gonna try and beat myself, and I'll just go with the Saints again. I'm probably going to play them every game until I lose one.
Well, you've been cashing tickets on them,
I'll say.
and you gotta ride with the horse until it stops running. I understand that. Value-wise, if this was on a neutral field or if this game was in New Orleans, this number would be, if you switch it around, you'd be talking about the Saints at home, 13. And,
oh, yeah.
And that these are big numbers, and it's hard to keep winning those. Let's take a look at what the Patriots have done over the years after they get started, after their September, usually a dry run in September. They'll cover 70% of their games the rest of the way too. But now, of course, that's a different situation there now. It's a different team, different Patriot team. But these kind of things can happen in sports, and you can get those kind of runs. We are getting down to that point where we're starting to separate the pretenders from the contenders.
I think there's three contenders and one maybe. The Chiefs, the Rams, the Saints are the contenders. The Patriots would be in the maybe category. They're not as good as those three teams, but they still got Belichick, Brady, and Gronk, and they'll be dangerous in the playoffs. And they could still get the home field in the AFC. They've got a chance to beat the Chiefs out of that spot. So we'll call it 4 serious contenders. I don't see any others. I think the Steelers are a good football team. I think the Chargers are a good football team. But I don't think they can win that many games in a row in the playoffs unless they run into a team that beats themselves. Because the other 3, probably 4 teams, are just better than they are.
Well, you in the NFL, in the playoffs, you got this one and done scenario. You don't have that in all sports, but in this case you do. So you can have that one bad game, that one bad interception, that one play that you like to take back. I mean, you look back at Seattle and the Patriots Super Bowl game where they had the ball and they chose not to give it to Marshawn Lynch, and they throw the pass, gets intercepted, so the other team wins the game. Those kind of things can happen, and it happens all the time. So that's why a lot of the the value bettors will look at a game and say, well, you know, I can't justify the line even though the momentum, and they'll go the other way. So you get a lot. Probably most of the value bettors would be on the dog tonight.
Yeah, but there's one thing to keep in mind, and I understand where, you know, back in the old days, it used to be that if you saw a double-digit favorite in the NFL, you better run away or just bet the dog. You can bet the dog blindly and win.
Right.
That's not the case anymore.
Oh, definitely not.
It just isn't. In fact, double-digit favorites have been a good bet, particularly recently. I mean, double-digit favorites are just blowing up right now. So, you know, I think that look, here's the difference. Okay, for many, many years, the NFL preached parity. They like the idea that anybody can beat anybody on a given Sunday. That's not the case anymore. There are some dominant teams in the league. I actually think that's good for the league. And those teams, in my opinion, are teams you just don't try and beat. I mean, if you want to go the parity route, do it with teams that are actually, you know, in the middle of the pack where you might have an edge. But
well, take a look at the AFC. The NFC, I think there's three teams. This is where we might differ a little bit. In the NFC, I think there's three teams in contention. In the AFC,
which three? I mean, obviously I know two.
The Rams and the Saints and who the hell's the other team? I've talked myself into.
I don't think the Bears. I like this Bears team.
No, they're not going anywhere.
They're not beating those two teams.
No, they're not going anywhere. Let me look here. I've talked myself into the corner. What's the other team? NFC, three teams. Rams.
I don't think the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings are at that level. So they got the Vikings, the Bears. Unless I'm missing somebody, that's it.
I think you're right. I probably overstepped there. It's probably those two teams that are clearly the better teams. That doesn't mean they can't lose. But you know,
probably not going to. Look, it's like college. I mean, look, Alabama can lose. Anybody can lose.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
No, there's really nobody else in the NFC, but in the AFC you have quite a few. You've got quite a few teams that on any given day. I mean, the Steelers, you can't discount them. I mean, they got a quarterback that's had 2 Super Bowls.
You know, they can't win on the road. And they're going to be on the road in the AFC playoffs. They just don't win on the road. Roethlisberger is night and day at home as opposed to the road. And he did it again last week. I mean, that's a game Pittsburgh should have won against Denver, and they didn't. And Roethlisberger made a terrible pass at the end of the game. He might have gotten screened, but he basically threw the ball right to a Bronco, and they lost another road game. And the problem for Pittsburgh is the road to the Super Bowl doesn't go through Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got to go through other locations. They're going to have to win at New England or at Kansas City. I don't see it happening. It's possible that they're going to be good-sized dogs in those games.
Well, you can never discount Brady and Belichick and Gronk if they're all there. That's a given. I mean, I think we all know that they're not as good as they have been in the past, but after this long of a run, and it's been about 15, 17 years, eventually it's going to start to peter out.
Yeah, and that's why the Chiefs, they lose the tiebreaker to New England, and they're only a game up, right? So Chiefs better win out, because you don't want to go through Foxborough. I mean, that is a real stumbling block for the Chiefs. If they have to go through Foxborough, they need to get that home field against the Patriots.
Where do you see the holes with the Chargers? I mean, they have Bosa back. Now granted, Gordon getting hurt is a real shot. That's rough.
I'll give you the holes. 2. One is special teams, which stink. Okay? I mean, you can't get a kicker. And 2, the track record of Rivers in really big games. He doesn't win them.
Never. He doesn't have a good track record at all. No, he doesn't. Now, you look at the NFC East. This is the team, probably Dallas, and with the fact that Washington lost their quarterback, although I don't know that he was playing well enough to consider Smith this year as a primary quarterback, but it's really Dallas's to win now. or to
I don't know
lose.
if it is or not. I mean, if they lose tonight, the Eagles win on Sunday, the Eagles will be in first place. If I'm not mistaken. Well, I don't know what the tiebreaker, but, you know, the problem is the Eagles just aren't that good either.
No, they're
There is,
not.
I mean, there's going to be one team that comes out of this division by default, and they're going to go out in a hurry. I really don't see where anybody in the NFC East is capable of winning a playoff game.
Well, it's kind of along the lines of looking at tonight's game. You look at the coach and quarterback. Clearly, it's the Saints have advantages, and then you get into the playoffs. Dallas is the healthier team right now than Philadelphia or Washington.
Yeah.
So if that would hold up, they get there. I mean, you can't really trust the play calling of Dallas has been miserable. The coach, I mean, the quarterback is marginal. The addition at wide receiver has really helped. They got a great running game. I mean, they have that. And if it's a one and done thing, and it's possible, but I don't see them going very far at all. So it's the NFC. We go back to the two teams. The AFC is a bit of a mystery. Now let's go back to the NFC one more time. There is a team up in the Northwest that's playing a game that is kind of a throwback. They have three running backs: Carson, Davis, and the kid, the rookie. I can't think of his name right now. Penny. And then they have a premier quarterback in Wilson. The Super Bowl coach. Wilson's a Super Bowl quarterback. That's a dangerous team. They have really done a good job rebuilding on the fly with that team, losing all those defensive players. That's a very dangerous team. They went to Carolina last week, who hasn't lost any games at home, and they beat them.
Well, or you can make the case Carolina beat themselves.
Well, that also could be the case, yes.
Panthers, the Panthers have given away 2 games in a row to Detroit and Seattle, and because of it, they're not a long shot yet, but they're not a favorite to make the playoffs now. I've actually got life with a future bet that I had. I played an under 8.5 on the Panthers, and I assumed the ticket was dead. And now they've lost 3 games in a row, so they're 6-5, and they've got a shot in that. They've got to play the Saints twice down the stretch, so I haven't lost that one yet. Look, I kind of agree with you in Seattle. I think Carroll is getting the max out of a limited roster, though, and I think they can compete with the good teams. I just don't know they can beat them. And again, they would have to do it on the road.
Well, the thing is, you look at the Rams. They played the Rams twice. And, you really can't say the Rams destroyed them in that scenario.
They gave the Rams a good game.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they really did. And we have a dog barking in the background, I'm sure you can hear. Well, you know Zeus.
Is he barking at the landscape?
He's barking at what we're talking about, I guess. Hold on.
He thinks Seattle's a dog, too.
Go in there. Behave yourself. You get into that situation where the dog wants to jump in.
How old is Zeus now?
Well, he's 9, and
Up there.
yeah, he's had a couple of health issues, but we keep fighting the battle. You know how that is.
Yep.
And
He sounds healthy.
he's very healthy, except, there's a caveat there. He has this and that we're still fighting. So anyway, back to sports. College hoops. It's been really, really good the last couple of days. Last 4 or 5 days have been really good. The NBA is pick and poke. Maybe two.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing well in the NBA. I decided before the season started I was not going to do the NBA until the playoffs. That's freed me up to spend more time on the games that I'm better at, which would be the NHL and hopefully college. I've been 50-50 in college basketball so far.
Yeah, but you're better historically. You're better than that, so that'll turn around.
you know, look, right now I'm 50-50, but the NHL, I'm killing the NHL, so hopefully that will continue. And the football's been great, so I got no complaints.
You want anybody out there want to get Dave's picks? Go to jimfeist.com. You can get my picks there as well. And we'll pick this up again after the weekend, Dave. We'll talk next Tuesday.
Sounds good, Jim. Keep nailing those college basketball winners.
Okay, I'll try. You too.
All right, man.
Have a good weekend.
See ya.
Bye-bye.